Hi, this is Ruthie Wagner, and I am with Lutheran Bible Translators. And I would like to show you an app called Logos. And it is a software that is a Bible study library. So it also syncs with Paratext and uses the Translator's Workplace, which is a large library of resources that help with Bible translation. And so, with a subscription to Translator's Workplace, you can use that library within Logos to help you do Bible translation. So, this is the program, and this is the dashboard where you can add resources. If you click on there, you can see you can add tabs. If you're familiar with Paratext, these tabs are very similar. You can move them around. You can um, change their sizes, and you can find resources that are helpful for your work. So if you need a dictionary, you can search for a dictionary. If you want the handbook, the UBS handbook that is used so much in Bible translation, you can see that there. Your library will show you all the resources that are in the program. And without the Translator's Workplace, there are very limited resources for a free subscription to Logos. You can also do search within Logos, where if you just do a search, it'll search your library, it'll search resources. It's an overall search of the program. You can also just read the Bible in different versions. So you can have the versions in Paratext, but you can also put them in here. And so they also synchronize. So if you are scrolling to different passages in your Paratext, you can also link the program so that it will scroll in Logos. So these are very powerful searches where there are links. You can open different versions of the Bible. It also has some read aloud tools, so you can read your resources aloud.
Therefore, at this time, some astrologers came forward and they denounced the Jews. They responded and said to Nebuchadnezzar the king, O king, may you live forever.
And and then you can open different versions of the Bible, also change the book and the chapter. I'm just going down this left side menu. There's also, I'll come back to this study assistant. There's the fact book, where if you're just looking for information on a word or a topic, you can use this resource to just give you more on that word. So if you're looking at heaven, you can just search that topic, and it will give you some great resources from your library about heaven. It's a very powerful search tool, this fact book. You can also upload documents into Logos. One of my favorite things in Logos, and I think is most helpful for Bible translators and for people preparing for sermons is this guides and workflows. It will have many different guides depending on what you would like to do inside of the program. And so there's passage guides, exegetical guides, inductive Bible study guides. And so before you work on translation, this guide or workflow can be very helpful as you explore and you study your passage. And so maybe you do this basic Bible study guide, and then you type the passage that you're working on. Let's say Numbers 3. And we look at Numbers 3, and it will guide you through your passage and help you study it at different levels and give you insight into the passage, and maybe help answer some questions, maybe bring up information that you didn't know. So what it will do is it'll have you read your passage, read the passage in other translations, identify the people, and as you go through these different steps, it will give you tools and resources that will help you understand these different people. So it'll talk about the Levites, and if you want to know more about the Levites, you can click on the Levites. You can see pictures. You can see things that they have dug up from archaeology that they've discovered. You can look at maps. And then these are all the people that are referenced in Numbers 3. And so if you want to know more about them, who they are, is it a person, is it a place, this can help you do that. Then it'll also go through cross-references. And then one of the most helpful features of this guide is the commentary. And what this does is it lists and it links all the commentaries for that specific passage. And so you don't have to remember the name of the commentary and then go to it and scroll to find the place. You can just click on this resource and it will open in a new tab the exact section that you're working on. And you can go to the tools. If you go more here, you can go to tools. You can read aloud if that makes processing it easier. And these tools also can be found on this menu bar on the left. You can click tools, and these are various tools that are available in the program. And there are more if you search. So you can look at maps with the atlas. You can highlight. And some of these you can see in this tools menu. Or if you right click the passage, it will also give you some interesting things that you can do with the passage. You can highlight, you can make notes. And then I want to show you this feature called Translate. If you have Translator's Workplace for 2026, 2027, they are allowing a feature called Translate. And what this does is it allows you to translate a resource. You can't translate a guide like this, but if you click on one of the resources like this, you can translate. If you go to the tools and go to translate, let's make this a little bigger so we can see it. It has many languages that are available here. So if you want, the one that pulled up is Creole. If you want Swahili, there's Swahili. And then you just scroll and it will move the translation with whatever is showing on the page. If you want Talk Pisan is here too. Now, keep in mind that this is an automatic translation. And so there isn't a human doing this. And so if there are mistakes, it's because it's like a calculator. It's just trying to figure out what this might mean in another language. And so you, as a human, can verify whether the translation is good or not and whether it has mistakes. So just keep that in mind, that this is automatically done. It's not done by any humans. So this translate feature can be very helpful if you want to look at, maybe you are reading the handbook for your translation in paratext, and you might think, oh, this would be very helpful if I read it in Tok Pisin or Swahili, whatever language you speak. So maybe you'd like to try that. If you go to handbook, and then you can just go to the book that you're working on. And if you have opened this feature already, it might automatically open here on the side. Otherwise, you can find it again by tools or by right-clicking your text. If you right-click your text, there is a translate feature, usually. So maybe because it's already open. And so here is the handbook for chapter 3, verses 1 through 13, and it will give you that translation here on the side. Now remember, this takes internet, so if you want to do this offline, you can copy the contents of this and paste it into a document where you can read it offline, if that's helpful. And if you are working in an area with limited internet service, turning off your automatic updates is going to be very, very important. And so you can do that in the settings of the program. So if you go into program settings here. So Logos does use a lot of internet because it's continuously updating its resources. So be sure to keep an eye on that if you're paying for data. The thing that I wanted to come back to is the Study Assistant. Now, the Study Assistant is an AI chatbot where you can ask questions about a passage or anything that your library would be able to answer. So maybe you say, explain challenging translation issues in Numbers 3. And what this does is it looks into your library and it searches for potential answers that might be helpful. And you can ask it for suggestions. You can ask it for resources, what resources might help for something. So Numbers 3 presents several interconnected translation challenges. And you can see here, and the nice thing about this is that each number here is the reference. It's telling you where it got this information. And so it'll point to the book. And they're all listed down here. And so as of right now, you cannot translate the answers and the conversation that's in Study Assistant. But this is also helpful. Now, with the free version of Logos, the number of questions that you ask is very limited. And so you would only be able to ask a very limited number of questions unless you pay for a subscription. But maybe there's a question that really needs help, and you can use this feature to just see what it does, and maybe it can help you. So if you would like more information, if you want help installing the program or getting Translator's Workplace library, please let me know. This is just to demonstrate a resource that might be helpful to you in Bible translation. So thank you for watching. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. My email is ruthie.wagner@lbt.org. That's RUTHIE.WAGNER @lbt.org. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.